Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sana Animam Fitness Live. This is the first live exercise show, so I want to welcome you all. And I want to start out by saying thank you for joining me during this confusing and complicated time. It's important during this time in particular that we keep ourselves healthy. My philosophy is that it takes mind, body, and spirit to be healthy, to have a whole healthy person. So that's the premise on which my programs are built. Mind meaning keeping yourself engaged, keeping yourself focused. Body, obviously, nutrition is important. What we put in our mouths is critical. And keeping our muscles and our joints strong and mobile so that we can continue to move and do the things that we like to do. And the spirit part is keeping our anxiety down, keeping all of those stressors that can play havoc with our bodies at bay. Mindfulness, meditation, going for a walk outside, listening to music, so many ways to incorporate that as well. So very important to keep all of those things in mind, particularly during this time. This hour that I'm going to spend with you today is going to be mostly focused on the exercise part. But if you visit my Facebook page, Sana Animam Fitness, or my website, sanaanimamfitness.com, I have a lot of resources there for people in general, but I'm adding even more during this time to help people through. You can always message me as well. I love hearing from people. I love hearing feedback and answering questions. A little bit about me before we get into this. A lot of people say, well, why are you a group fitness instructor and personal trainer? I'm in my 60s and a firm believer that I want to be doing all kinds of different things when I'm 90. And in order to do that, we have to live a healthy lifestyle. And I love helping people, so I want to bring you all along with me. I'm a National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer and group instructor. And I also have specializations in women's fitness as well as senior fitness. I'm a Silver Sneakers instructor. Some of you may be familiar with the Silver Sneakers program. It's a program for people ages 55 and older. So I have a lot of tools to bring to the programs that I create, and I'm always listening to my clients and my listeners and my fans out there. Could you do this? Could you do that? So feel free. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's something new that I'm not doing. With that, let's get started. So a couple of things you might want to have on hand today. All of the movements that we're going to do in today's exercise can be done with no weights at all, just your body weight. However, if you happen to have things around the house and you want to spice it up a little bit, for some of the movements, you can use dumbbells or hand weights. These happen to be threes. I've got a set of twos on the floor. Doesn't matter what they are. You're not going to want too heavy for today, so keep it light. If you don't have dumbbells and you still want to add something, you can use water bottles as your dumbbells. Just make sure they're even, not one half full, one full. So set those to the side. And another thing you can also use, soup cans or canned goods. Just make sure your hand fits around the can so that you're not dropping it on your toe or your head as we're doing things. But that adds just a little bit of resistance to what you're doing. Again, it's not necessary if you don't have those things. I would definitely like you to have a bottle of water that you can drink, however. As we go through the workout, there'll be little pauses where you can take a drink. Always drink when you're thirsty. Never try to sweat through it. If at any time you start to get lightheaded, stop. This is not a no pain, no gain routine. Pain is not something you should feel at all. So make sure that you're moving correctly. If anything hurts, stop doing it. You can always message me and I can help you after the fact with some movement that you might be able to do in place of what you were doing. So keep your water handy. You might want a towel, depending on the room you're working in. I'm in my basement studio, so it's a little chilly in here, so I may not sweat as much, but it's always good to have that on hand. And another thing I would like you to have is a chair. I'd like it to be a sturdy chair. Again, not a folding chair. You don't want any mishaps during our workout. It can have arms or not, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's a sturdy chair. When you're sitting down or exiting the chair, make sure that it's not going to slide away from you. If you're on the carpet, you're fine. If you're on a slippery floor like I am, make sure it's behind you before you sit on it. And the last thing that I want to talk about before we get started is body position. I'm sure when you all were younger and you heard about posture, and your mother would say, stand up straight, put your shoulders back. Well, there's a reason for that. Our spine needs to be in alignment to be healthy and to be safe. So when we're doing our workouts, I'm going to stand sideways so you can see. We're going to stand with our feet, for the most part, somewhere between hip and shoulder distance apart, depending on what we're doing. And I'll stand sideways so you can see positioning wise. You see, I'm standing clearly over the middle of my foot. I'm not leaning forward, I'm not leaning back. I want to be careful that I'm not rounded. I want my shoulders up. Think that you're a marionette and you have a string coming out of the top of your head. The head's coming up like this. Now, the other thing that we want is to tuck our tummies in. This protects your lower back. We call it engaging your core. When you tuck your tummy in and activate these muscles right here, that protects your lower back from movements. So anytime you're even picking something up off the floor, you should think about that. Tuck my tummy in, put my hips back, come down, pick up whatever it is. Could be anything from a feather to a bag of groceries. That will protect your spine from getting hurt. We're all about getting healthy, not getting hurt. So we want to make sure that we're moving correctly. Again, if anything hurts, stop. The other favor I'm going to ask of you as you embark in an exercise program is make sure that your healthcare professional has approved and that they know that you're doing this. If you're on medications, particularly for blood pressure or diabetes, they may need to adjust those medications for you as you do your exercise program and get healthier. So make sure you're in close contact with your medical professionals. That is my public service announcement. So we're going to get right into our exercise for today. We always start out with a warm-up. It's very important to warm your body up before you start exercising. You're going to get your heart rate up a little bit, you get your body temperature up, you get all your muscles warmed up. Usually we start, and we're going to start today, with just an easy march. So it doesn't matter what your hands are doing at this point, all we're doing is warming up from here down. So we're getting our hips moving, we're getting our quads, these are your quads, your legs, heels. And as we get into this, just start letting your arms do an easy swing here. There we go, very good. Okay. With all of these movements, guys, if I'm moving too fast for you, slow yourself down. If you think I'm going at a snail's pace, pick it up a little bit. This is all for you, and you go at your own pace always. Most of the movements that we do can also be done in a seated position if you happen to have hip or knee issues. We always want to address that, so there's always seated versions. Since we're doing our part and staying at home, I don't have my assistance to be demonstrating the different modifications, but they're always there for you. Now, we're going to start picking it up a little bit, and by that I mean we're picking up our knees. So, sideways, so you can see I'm picking my knees up. If you can't get your knees that high, that's fine. Just try to get them a little higher than they were. This is working this area under our leg. Think about going upstairs. In general, when you're moving, you want to go opposite hand, opposite leg. That keeps your balance in line. Right. Really add a little movement to it there, to the right a little. 3 steps. 2, 3, and back. 2, 3. More over this side. Come back to the center. Very good. Now we're going to change it up a little bit as we continue to move. You should start feeling this area. You're like being a little warm now. We're going to go tap, tap. See, I'm up in my heel. This is stretching out our hamstrings and the back of our calves. So you see your toe pointing up towards the ceiling as you do this. Just a few more of these. And you go forward and you tap it back. We have a dance over there. All you dancers out there, you have a little jive to it. Let your arms do what feels natural. We're going to add on to this move during our workout too, so it's important to warm up these muscles. You always want to warm up the muscles that you're going to be using. If you're doing something that uses your legs, you want to just warm up your arms. Okay, come back to a march. Make sure your floor is clear. Stepping sideways. And you notice when I do that step out sideways, my body is still centered and the weight is mostly on this leg. Guess what, guys? This is great exercise to strengthen the muscles that you need for fall prevention. If you can stand on one leg, you can prevent yourself from falling. If you trip, that leg is going to be stable enough to hold you up. So this is why we focus on these kind of exercises. We call them single leg and balance exercises. They're also great warm-ups. Do that march. Now we're going to add a little bit of a kick to the back. I'll come sideways so you can see me. I'm still going side to side, but I'm adding a little kick to the back. I'm stretching out my quadriceps or the front or the upper part of the leg. You want to go opposite arm, opposite leg for these. If it's uncomfortable or scary to go that wide, you can go slower and stay narrow. This is all for you, so it's all about what you're comfortable doing. And then dip to it if you want. Dip and muscle workout. Okay, come back to center. That concludes our warm-up for the workout today. And this is a great time to take a sip of water and gather anything that you may need that you haven't already gotten. Your chair, your towel, your water, and your weights if you want them. So we'll just take a couple seconds here, let people do that. I'm going to move everything I don't need off to the side. You want to always make sure that your work area is free of obstructions. You don't want to trip. All right, coming back here. We'll get started with our warm-up now. That last movement that we did in our warm-up, that area of toe tapping out, that's going to be the lead into the first movement in our workout. It's called the skater. So just imagine that you're skating. So without the arms, I'm tapping my toe behind. Tapping my toe behind. See? And I'm swinging my arms to the opposite side, but you'll feel what's natural with this movement. Now, to make it a little more challenging, you hinge from the hips, like you're a speed skater. This is going to really activate the glutes, the butt muscles, hamstrings, and quads. So here we go. Skaters. I'm going to go, well, if all you can do for today is this, that is absolutely fine. Awesome. You need to come up for a few steps. Yeah. Fantastic. With my little bit of limited space here so I can still stay on camera. You can go lower again for the last few. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Come on out. That was awesome. Next movement we're going to move right into. We're going to remember this movement that we did. That's a piece of it, so we're going to start there. This time we're going to arms this way. If you want to add a little challenge to it, you can pick up your light dumbbells. You don't need to. Again, you can stay narrow if you need to, go slower if you need to. If you want a little more of a challenge, go wider. Add that little bit of a dip down. Awesome. Okay. Next movement we're going to go into is a little version on something that might in your school days been called the airplane. So it goes opposite hand, opposite knee. This is working that core we talked about earlier. And if you can't bring your knee up that high, that's okay. This is for you. So do what you can, do what's comfortable. The most important thing is that we're all moving out there. So I'm going to go a little higher. And again, if I'm going too fast, you can slow it down. If I'm not going fast enough for you, you can pick up your pace. We're not doing a set number of these, we're doing it by time. And if you want a little more of a challenge, you can get your elbow down there. Awesome. Just a few more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, now here comes the fun part. We're going to put those two things together, and this is where we work on the mind. It's kind of like rubbing your head and chewing gum and walking and talking at the same time. So the one we did before, this one, and this one. Okay, so the way it works, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can't get this right away, don't worry. When I was coming up with this, it took me a few minutes to get my hands and feet going together. But just missed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, knee, knee, back, back, knee, knee, back, back, knee, knee, back, back. See, I almost messed up there again. You have to think. Keeps your brain sharp. Again. Back, back, knee, knee, back, back, knee, knee. Helps if you say that to yourself. There we go. Whoops. Knee, knee, lost it there. Don't worry if you lose it, just pick it up. Even us instructors get confused every once in a while. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So you see how you can build on the exercises too. You can start out with single modes and then add 2 things together or even 3 things together to work different body parts. And as you've probably noticed, you're getting warm kind of everywhere, and that's what we're looking for. So now's a great time, again, to take another sip of water. For the next workout, we're going to look at using dumbbells if you want to. Again, you never have to. Just make sure that whatever you're using is light enough or heavy enough to meet your own personal needs. So I'm going to show this is called a split squat. So what we're going to do first is stand with our feet basically between shoulder and hip distance apart, nice and stable. We're going to take our right foot and put it back on our right toe. Now figure out where to put that so you got your balance. If you need to hold on to the back of your chair for this, don't worry about the weights. We'll just use the weight in one hand. So the way the exercise works, weights are just down here, and you're just going to come down with this knee. This knee doesn't ever go over your toe, so if you need to adjust your front or back leg to make that happen, again, I'm pulling my belly muscles in, and looking straight ahead. And this is the movement. I'm going to do this side. And as you do this, feel free to adjust. And go as low or as high as is comfortable and right for you. And you're going to find that this varies on a day-to-day basis. Some days I'm stiffer than others, and I don't have that range of motion. The important thing is to keep moving. Almost there. All right. Bring your feet back up together. Now, I'm going to turn so that you can see that I'm using my other foot. You don't need to. If you don't want to, just make sure your other foot is going back. And that really is not going over your toe. And that you're wide enough so that you're not going to fall down. Belly tuck in. So you can see these are called functional exercises because they move your whole body. And they help you get stronger for functional things like picking up groceries and other things that you might need to do. Picking up your grandchildren or your children or your dog or your cat. You adjust as you need to. Make sure you're stable. Finish out that set. At 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Come on up. I don't know about you, but my glutes and hamstrings are a little warm. So shake out those legs. And we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to come to a chair exercise. And I know I've had a lot of my clients say, I don't want to do a chair exercise, that's for old people. It's also a way to isolate. So if you've even seen bodybuilders working out on a bench, they're really isolating. So you can pretend this is your bench. You want your feet flat on the floor. Make sure that you're sitting stable on the chair. You want to be towards the front. We don't want to be slouched back. We want to have our belly's muscles tightened so that we have that nice, strong core, good posture. We're going to start with our arms. If you have dumbbells, that's fine. If you don't, just make a fist. So palms will be facing out. And from here, we're going to come up to right about eye level. Okay? Next movement is we're going to come up. We're making a great big X. So up here to here to here. And again, here to here to here. I'm just going to keep making this X. Remember, always palms out unless you're in the center. And this isn't like this when they get an X. It's a different part of your shoulder. If it's bothering you to use the weights, put them down. What we're looking to do here is warm up and exercise the range of motion of our shoulders. This is slow. We shouldn't be doing this fast. This isn't one of the ones that I want you to ramp up if you think I'm going too slow. Most of our lifts are slow. I'm not looking for fast here. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay. While we're sitting here, I was going to do one standing, but since we're sitting here, we'll go into the next movement. So this one is another core exercise. What I'm going to have you do to learn it is to hold onto your chair. I don't want you slouching back still, but I want you to pick your legs up at the floor. You're going to point your toes to the ceiling, and you're going to pretend you're in a swimming pool into a flutter kick. Now, I can do it by letting go. If you can't, that is fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 30 seconds of flutter kicks, starting right now. Again, you can go faster if you want. Pulling our belly muscles in. This is working your lower abdominal muscles. Okay, now we're going to add to this. Remember I said you can add two things together? If you're comfortable doing the flutter kick without holding onto your chair, we're going to add a curl to it. This is a bicep curl. Our elbows are by our sides. And again, you can do this without the weight. So what this is going to look like is this. Now, if you need to hold on to the chair, then just do the flutter kicks and bicep curls separately. So here we go. Are you ready for that flutter kick? Flutter kicks can be as fast as you want. The curls should be slow. If you're doing them separately, switch now to your other movement. If you're doing them together, keep going, folks. We have another 30 seconds. If you're doing them separately, switch to your other movement. Those of you that are doing them together, keep it up. You're doing a great job. Once again, if you're doing them separately, switch it up. Last 15 seconds, guys. You can do this. Very good. Very good. Almost there. 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And done. Awesome. Okay. We're going to go to working on our legs and our knees a little bit. If you have light weights, you can put them on your leg like this, put your hand over them, and what we're going to do, nice tall posture, sucking that belly in. We're going to go leg, leg, jump out, jump in. Again, if you don't have weights or it's too much for your knees, just do it without the weights. You can put your hands on your legs. So here we go. Knee, knee, out, knee, 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 out, hand. Awesome. And again, you can do this one as slow or as fast as you want. The knee lifts should be slower than the out in. Almost there. 30 seconds to go. Great job, you guys. Just let me lay the chair here. Here we go. Knee, knee. 15 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right. Last movement we're going to do in this, again, everything is about keeping this area stable and strong. You can do this movement with 2 dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, or no dumbbells. I'm going to put one down just so I can show you what it looks like. So I'm going to start here. We're going to come across. Right on this side. Now we're going to look from the other side. So get that little twist there. This is working the glutes on the side. It's working the lower abdominal muscles. You adjust your seat as you need to. Those of you that play golf, this will help your golf swing. Do 5 on each side and then you're switching. 1. Last switch, here we go. Good. And last one. Very good. Now that is the end of our workout. So we've been working out for close to 25, 30 minutes if you want to include the warm up. So we're going to put our dumbbells down. Now, just as important is warming up to the beginning is cooling down at the end. You want to make sure that you're bringing your heart rate back down, that you're bringing your body temperature back down, kind of still moving the muscles so that all the lactic acid moves out of them so you don't get sore the next day. So we're going to start feet flat on the floor. We're just going to inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. I'm inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. Standard yoga breathing. The martial arts breathing if you're into martial arts. All right. You can do that as many times as you want. Obviously, be careful that you don't hyperventilate. If you start to feel a little lightheaded, stop. But 3 or 4 times, it's a good thing to do in a stressful situation too. If you feel yourself getting anxious or stressed, just take a moment, close your eyes, and do a little bit of deep breathing, and that will help you calm down. It affects your nervous system in a very positive way. So now that we are nice and calm, we're going to stretch a little bit. I'm going to take my left leg and put it over my right leg. If you can't cross your legs, that's fine. You can just do it without crossing your legs. You get a deeper stretch if you do. I'm going to take my left arm, and then I'm going to turn to the right. If you can only turn this much, that's fine. Don't pull and don't force the stretch. Stretch until it feels like you're stretching, and then hold it for a count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back to center. Or if you cross, if you're crossing, if you're not crossing, that's fine. Just leave it there. We're going to go other arm to other side. Once you find that comfortable stretch, where it's a little stretchy but not painful, we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Come back to center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to straighten out our right leg, put our heel on the ground, and point our toe up. And we're going to try to bring our toe as close to our knee as possible. So you're going to feel that stretching. If you're comfortable in a chair and you feel like you can do it, you can move forward from your hip a little bit. That will add more stretch up the rest of your leg and into your hip flexors. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's absolutely fine. It's still a great stretch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Other foot. Heel on the ground. Toe pointed towards the ceiling to start. And you're just going to try to bring that toe as close to your knee as you can. So I'm really activating and pulling my toe back and feeling that stretch in the back of my leg. I'm going to lean forward a little bit. You can or not, depending on where you are right now. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? You're going to take your left arm. You're going to bring it right across your body, chest level. You're going to take your right arm up underneath that left arm. You just kind of guide your shoulder a little bit into your shoulder stretch. You're not pulling or pushing with this hand, you're just kind of guiding it. This hand is doing all the stretching for that arm by itself. You can activate your fingers and push towards the wall if you want. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Other arm across your chest. Bring your left hand up from the bottom and guide that shoulder. Stretch that out in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, shake it out. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that this will start you on the road to your exercise adventure. Join me here. I will be live about once a week with the new Vitality Show. I also have recorded videos, pre-recorded videos, different levels of workouts, so check those out and hit the subscribe button. Visit my website and visit my Facebook page. Thank you again for joining me, and thanks to all my friends at the Moffett Library in Washingtonville. I appreciate you joining me online instead of in person as we were scheduling. Thanks again, guys, and have an awesome day.